The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Let me be your lighthouse so I can show you the way. Let me be your shining light, I'll keep you from drifting away. I'm the one that makes you try when...
Hello, this is Patty Hunter, and welcome to my show, Patty's Page. Today, I have a very special guest. His name is Richard Dance, or the nickname Crawdaddy. He is a musician, he writes lyrics, and he did his own music many moons ago, but he now writes for film and TV. The music, he's had a couple of them out in some movies, and Richard had worked along with the likes of Count Basie, Stevie Nicks, and Dionne Warwick, Dr. John, and Glenn Campbell. He's a jack of all trades. I'll see you in a couple minutes, or even in one moment. So catch you later. We'll be right with you. Okay, hello. Welcome to my show. This is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page. And with me is a special guest named Richard Dance. And how are you today, sir?
I'm doing good. Hi,
Yeah.
Patty. You said to call you Bubbles?
Yeah.
All right, Bubbles.
Woo, all right. How old were you when you first started to get interested in music?
Well, if you want to go way back in the game, that would be like church choir at age 8.
Ah,
So
yeah.
that was the first exposure. And then, you know, like every other young guy in the early 60s, you know, you started getting into popular music stuff you hear on the radio, and then just kind of got into playing the guitar, you know, like everybody else in that era.
Who taught you? Did you teach yourself?
Self-taught, you know. I think I got a Sears guitar when I was 12, and it came with a little 45 with a couple of songs on it, a little chord chart, you know.
Mm.
And then, but I just learned by hanging out with other players, just learning by ear.
You don't read notes?
No, I don't read music. I never took any lessons.
Wow.
So just kind of self-taught.
Yeah. Well, I write lyrics. I don't know music. I mean, it's like music in my head, the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've written over 300 songs. Lyrics, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Got several songs out there.
Yeah, it was funny. It's interesting that you bring that up. I never was focused on lyrics. You know, I just liked the sound of the music. And, you know, you play in a lot of cover bands when you first get started. And sometimes I was singing, but I was thinking more about how the phrasing laid into the music. I didn't really think about the meaning of the lyrics until much later.
So, to me, a lyric is a story. You start off in the beginning. Sometimes I start off with a chorus, or sometimes I just start off with 2 verses, then a chorus.
Yeah.
Then a bridge or music, whatever to go with it, and then a verse and then a chorus.
Yeah.
And some of my songs were button-ended, and others were fading out, so to speak, you know, running.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your favorite in all the music that you have done? What kind of button-end or running through it?
Well, I mean, I used to love to do fades when I first started, kind of goof around the studio, but then when you get into film, TV writing, a button ending is definitely necessary. You you can have a long outro, and if an editor wants to fade it, they can, but they also need a tight, snap ending so they can finish a scene or whatever.
Do you write all your music that your own? Do you have collaborators or?
Both ways.
Yeah.
When I'm writing a lot of instrumental stuff, I do a lot of that by myself. I've also written lyrics by myself or with collaborators. I've probably learned the most recently about lyric writing by working with another good lyricist, who understands not how to walk the fence between not being too deliberate, saying things symbolically, metaphorically that are universal, about all the same issues that are popular in music, like about love or loss or joy or humor or whatever it might be. So, that's been probably the most recent learning curve for me, is how to write lyrics well.
So when you get a tune in your head, you get it first and then the lyrics, or the lyrics and then the tune? How does it go with you?
Works both ways.
Oh, yeah?
Most of the time I've got a hook in my head, and then, from other aspect of life, it might be something heavy lyrically, or it might just be something funny that happened yesterday,
Oh, yeah.
and then just a single lyrical idea or image. In film, TV, the lyric needs to be an image that creates a single mood or an emotion,
Oh, yeah.
and then kind of flesh it out.
So when you write a song, let's walk through the song. How do you start out yourself? The verse or pre-chorus or what?
Normally, since for me, the chorus in a lyric is kind of the hook.
Yeah.
There's a musical hook and then there's a lyrical hook. And I'm trying to think of an example. I just did that show with Michael over at Taxi.
Yeah.
Like we had a song we wrote called Such a Fool, me and my collaborator.
Oh, yeah.
And, when you screw up in a relationship, or, I've been such a fool. So that's the main lyrical message, and then you flesh that out in the verses. Those kind of come later.
So it's like a storytelling, It's like a little, well, it's like a poem in a way, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and
Similar.
especially in country music, there's a story, there's a situation, something changes, there's some kind of tension, and then it releases. So in a story in that sense, that's kind of how I look at it.
Do you know anything about metering to make sure that the lyrics go with the music?
Well, of course, as I mentioned a little earlier when I first started playing music, I like the way the phrasing of lyrics sat in the bed of the music, metering, the term you're using. So absolutely, that's key, because if the lyrics don't have some kind of a rhythm to them, they're going to maybe clash with the music or not be the best, presentation of themselves if they're not with the music, right?
Yeah, when I write my lyrics, sometimes I write them out long and then I shorten them until they're just right. It takes me about several days to do that. But sometimes I go to the computer and write my lyrics. It takes from between 10 o'clock until 2 o'clock in the morning. I can't write when there's noise. I have to have complete silence.
Right. Yeah, and on what you just said a second ago, I've noticed that the best stuff that I've written, meaning best that actually gets used for something, the lyrics are very short. Like you said, they're more like a poem. If you get too wordy, unless you're doing a rap, like a hip-hop rap where there are a lot of lyrics rhythmically, the shorter the lyrics, the better, in my case,
I'm not like another Dylan, I mean, he goes on. Bob Dylan?
Right, yeah, I haven't really studied his lyrics, but I couldn't really comment on him, and whether he's long or not, I don't really have anything in the front Rolodex on that.
Oh, Do you are you working in a band now, or what are you doing actually?
No, I don't perform anymore. I quit about 20 years ago.
Ah.
I can still go out and sit in with friends. I have
Do
a lot
some
of friends
jamming.
that still perform, and they're nice enough to let me sit in for a set. But those days are far and few between. The film TV stuff keeps you busy, you know.
Oh, how do you get into that one? Into the film and TV?
Well, it started just locally here in Phoenix.
Yeah.
I'm in Arizona, and a friend of mine was a television producer locally, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked me, "Hey, can you do some music?" I went, "Sure." And I was just had a new set of recording equipment, so I started working locally for a TV production company, and then some friends of mine said, you know, you ought to check out Taxi, and that's when I checked that out, joined, and now it's like a, you know,
It's like going to
almost a
school.
ride.
It's like going to school, isn't it? Every Monday.
Oh yeah, like Michael's shows.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good information on there. Yeah,
I've
it takes a while for an artist to shift into what the industry needs versus just being an artist.
He's a good teacher. So are you, man.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome. Do you ever want to teach what you know besides being on Taxi?
Not formally. I haven't really thought about that. I get asked to do presentations sometimes, and you know, that for me, that's just kind of a give back, because when I was trying to learn, there were other people that did that.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of the give and take. Because I'm not, you know, I've only been doing the film TV stuff for 2 or 3 years, and
Hi.
you know.
Have you been quite prosperous with that, or any of your songs being used in film or TV?
Well, yeah, I'm just now starting to get to the placement stage. You know, the first step is you have to learn how to write for film and TV, and then you got to write a bunch of music, and then try to get it in libraries. And then when it gets in libraries, then the placements kind of just start happening, because it's in the publisher's hands now. So, as a lot of people at Taxi say, you know, it's a 5-year plan, and just work the plan, and the placements will come. For me, funny, I don't know why it turned out this way, but my first 2 placements were in films, not even on TV shows.
Oh.
And that kind of told me that, you know, when they use a large part of a song or a whole song in a film as over a montage or a scene change or a credit roll at the end or whatever,
Yeah.
that's kind of inspiring, you know, to the artistic side of being a writer.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you just get 10 seconds or 15 seconds of an instrumental piece.
And you got it out.
Yeah,
Everyone's
and
listening
so,
to it.
you know, I would rather learn how to score films than just have little snippets here and there, but, you know, that comes later. I'm not to that level at all yet.
What's your basic genre?
Kind of southern soul, funk, rock, rhythm and blues, country tinges to it. Because I grew up down there, you know, on the Gulf Coast, and lived in places like New Orleans and Houston and Mobile, Alabama, and, you know, just whatever music you grow up in, that's what you tend to gravitate towards sometimes, and I did.
Did you see some of the shows I sent to you, the links of my interviews with others?
I did. I didn't get to watch all of them at length, but I got an idea of, like, the great service you're providing by just showing a variety of people in the world of culture and just knowledge and stuff. Yeah, it's great.
I have local bands coming on my show to give them a little boost in Fort Wayne.
That's great.
And a friend of mine, he's been on my show twice, Tommy Lavelle, and he's now in, where is he? California, hitting the big time. And I had him on my YouTube several times, and he put it onto his website, and people noticed that. Now he's, you know.
Yeah, the social media thing definitely is necessary and works nowadays, you know.
Do you do networking?
The only kind of stuff I do to kind of market and push my music is I try to contact as many library, music production library owners and music supervisors. There's one magazine called Music Connection.
Oh yeah.
That Taxi has a relationship with, and they have they have different lists in the back of each month's, publication. And so whenever they put out the annual library list or music supervisor list, I'll just kind of create an email list. I don't bug people, you don't
No,
want to bug people too
I
much.
don't want to do that either.
But you want to, when I put out a new track or if I get a placement or I get something signed, I'll just kind of send a quick little broadcast,
That's how you pitch your songs?
Yeah, because I'm not trying to sell tracks as an artist or
Right.
sell records.
Yeah.
That's a whole other game.
You want to share your songs because you feel like you want to connect with everyone with your songs.
Well, yeah, the music is the communication, but from just a business perspective, I'm trying to get my songs on film and in television and in commercials. That's the business goal. So everything I do marketing is related to that. If a good feeling comes out of a song, what's his name say? The famous cultural historian. The medium is the message. So if you're writing happy acoustic singer-songwriter stuff and it gets in a show or on a film,
Yeah.
that's where the artistic gift gets communicated, in the scene. So yeah, I'm sharing music in that sense.
You do music videos too?
No, I did a couple for fun years ago, just for fun, but not really.
You wouldn't show it to anyone. Would you show it?
Show music video.
Yeah, any of yours?
You mean like?
If
It's not something I'm really concentrating
Okay.
on. That's more for performance.
But you don't mind if I put one of your songs, your favorite songs, at the end of the show?
Oh, certainly, yeah.
Can you send me a link when we do editing? We can be able to muck about.
Yeah, you need like an MP3 of it so you can just grab it and use it.
That's right.
Yeah, I can do that. Sure.
Cool. So what are your goals besides doing filming and all that? What do you see in the future for yourself?
Retiring on an island in Tahiti.
All right. I like this guy.
Well, I'm in my day gig is I spent a lot of years in real estate. I rehab old commercial buildings, repurpose them, and then lease them up and sell them. And the market's been dead, and I got killed in the last cycle.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so I'm having to find new ways to be creative in real estate. And I also buy and sell classic cars just for fun,
Oh, classic cars.
Yeah, we can do a whole other show on
We
that.
can do that. We can do that if you're willing, if you're game. Because I like talking to you. You're a good old boy. I like you.
Well, thank you. I like you too, Bubbles.
Huh, blush. Okay, you make me blush. Oh my goodness. So, you have sung with other people, like headliners and stuff, or were you front runners, or what?
Well, when I used to perform, it was kind of a second career. They call it the weekend warrior, just playing in clubs on the weekends, and you did something during the day. But it always kept growing, and I seemed to have kind of a Forrest Gump musical life because I kept meeting people who were getting in situations where, you'd be opening for a lot of big acts.
Yeah.
So that was a few decades ago. It was a blast.
Oh, mercy.
Young, when you're young is when that's the time to do that,
Well, I'm in my 60s now, so I'm still writing for about 27 years, eh?
That's awesome. Yeah, you can write forever. It's like golf. You can just play it till you croak, right?
I can't stop writing. It is something I don't like or something I do like. I'm trying to write now some children's lyrics, for songs. So
Yeah.
I got a book coming out of my lyrics or poems. That's an
Nice.
e-book, So whenever that gets out. How long have we been talking? 20 minutes we've been talking, eh?
We've got another
Yeah, I'll just stay on until you've got enough you can edit, you know.
Oh my goodness. So walk me through a song. What's the best way of doing like a chorus or verse? What starts out great? What's normally universal, song?
Well, let's see. Maybe I can just pull one up here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think for a second.
Just one that you talk half verse, talk and then sing the verse. You were talking about that on the
that's a specific technique that I've used before, where I do like starting songs with a chorus. I call it the fanfare.
Oh,
you know.
right. Mm.
And so and it really works well for film, TV, because you're stating the one single emotion and message right up front. Like we have this song that we wrote called "Calling My Name," and the chorus, which we sing first, which is a cappella, is "Baby, I hear you calling my name. Won't you say it again?" So you know right away it's a guy that's in love with a woman, and he loves it when he hears her call his name. It can mean a lot of different things, but it's pretty universal.
That's like a hook, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of like a lyrical hook. And then it drops down into a verse, and he talks the first half of a verse. And he's just telling her how much he loves her in kind of more, not so deliberate, but, good metaphorical ways. Or he can be more literal. Usually country music is very literal.
Mm.
The picture of grandma on the mantle. And I remember all the days and, just visual images. And,
How about rap?
So that one technique I use a lot. Chorus first, drop it down into a verse, and then hit the chorus, a pre-chorus, and then a chorus hard. That gets the song rolling. But you grab them right away with the chorus hook.
Yeah.
That's one thing to do.
Do you do rap?
Like another song that's on this album that got signed, we wrote called "The Credit Man." And when you hear the name of the title is Credit Man, so
you know what that is.
It tells you right away. It could have like an urban feel to it. The financially downtrodden, can't get a job, can't get out of debt.
Sounds
it applies
familiar.
to a lot of people.
Sounds familiar. When you're a writer, it's kind of hard. You have to really have other jobs to help you through this because you don't get paid that well sometimes. Depends on if you get something copyrighted and working, So, getting royalties.
It's a labor of love for sure.
Yeah. I sacrifice a lot of my time, a lot of sleep. The next day, I pay for it.
Well, it's the lotto, You just keep pounding away, keep dropping quarters in the slot machine. Each quarter meaning a new song or a new lyric, and then maybe after a year or two, one of them hits or gets on a show or something.
Yeah, you write it. What's that word? You write it, you something, then you forget it. What's the in between there?
Oh yeah, that's the write, submit, forget.
Right. That's what I'm doing.
In terms of submitting to film and television, it's definitely a numbers game. Penny's business.
Yeah, I took a small course at Berkeley Music online. They taught me quite a bit. It's a little expensive, but they taught me a bit. And Michael on Taxi, he taught me a lot. I mean, I religiously listened to him every Monday.
Yeah, he's loaded with experience and information for sure. He's been doing it. Taxi's been around for like 22, 23 years now, very successful as a pitching service, independent A&R company.
Yeah, cool.
And plus, he was a recording engineer for all those years, working at Criteria and everything. So he's got a lot of background.
Where'd you meet him?
Well, he asked when I first joined Taxi, and I got that lucky deal with that one library. You're supposed to send in your success stories. I said, well, I don't know if this qualifies, but I sent it in, and he called me and says, I want you to be on the panel at the next rally.
Oh, my goodness.
Because he needs success stories, so he keep the membership drive going.
I am not a member yet because there's so much money. You know, it must be nice. But one of these days I'll go to that rally. If I don't get too old for that.
Well, if you guys have an annual vacation budget, put that on your bucket list because it's fun. And all these people that you know, like I haven't ever met you, but I know you from online, and you get on the forums too, don't you?
I try to.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I see you on the show every Monday when I'm able to tune in. I see your name down there. Yeah, it's a blast. You'll meet all those people you hung out with Monday afternoons, you know.
And I'm working with some of the people collaborating with Amanda and with Maryland.
Which Mary?
Merry. Mary.
Oh, that's her online name? Yeah.
That's
what
her
is her
online name. I don't remember. Her name is Marion something.
Yeah, okay.
She's
Well,
good.
that's great. So you're collaborating. You're the lyricist, and they write music for you?
Well, some of them are lyricists. Basically, all of them are lyricists. We're trying to combine and make a decent lyric for
I see.
singers. Anyways, yeah, because one of my songs, you ever heard of Patricia Conroy? Canadian singer?
No, I haven't.
Oh, well, she's famous in her day. She's not singing anymore, but she was a very good singer, and she sung one of my songs in Nashville.
Oh, nice.
And Tommy Lee Smith? Tommy Smith?
No, I don't know him.
Tony Smith. Tony Smith. He, in Nashville, he moved away, of course, to Florida, but he put together my song.
Oh, nice.
So that's good. Cool. So
Yeah,
listen,
you never know.
listen, you. I'd like to interview you again someday, eh? Would that be okay?
I will try to help you out any way I can.
Oh, you're an angel. Thank you. Thank you for coming on to my show.
It was my pleasure, Bubbles. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome, Crawdaddy. I'm not used to that, but that's all right. We'll see you, and thank you.
Alrighty.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Bubbles. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Crawdaddy.
All right.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And thank you, people. Thank you for coming on to my show. This is Richard Dance, or Crawdaddy, and we'd like to say bye-bye and see you next week.
Baby, it's always you and me. Always has been, always will be. But it's funny, I know that I knew you before I ever laid eyes on you. And the moment I saw you, I knew that was true. One look was all it took, and I knew that my world was you. Don't ever forget this. When I say I love you, I ain't saying enough.